In Dubai, if your check bounces, you go to jail. Honestly, I think to myself, did I do the right thing?
Dude, if that ain't lucky, I don't know what is.
People who become successful take those risks.
It had a sign that said free lap dance with every... there's a hamburger. Casino kicked me off the table.
Oh my!
They didn't know what I was doing.
This is a story that not a lot of people know, but now they will on your podcast. I've never shared it with anybody.
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio. Folks, I got a real treat for you. Saeed Ahmed.
That's
Or is
me.
it Ahmed?
It's Ahmed.
Ahmed.
That's
Saeed
right.
Ahmed, better known as Salman.
That's right. That's my nickname. Yeah.
Why is that your nickname?
So my mom, when I was young, she wanted to name me and my father went against it. So she just kept calling me Salman and then the whole family started calling me Salman. So that's my nickname.
But it's actually Saeed.
And that's exactly.
If you guys want to follow him on Instagram, it's at Salman, Salman Ahmed.
That's
Salman Ahmed. But he's not a big Instagram guy. You're not a big influencer with millions of followers. You're like an actual real entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, not born, but raised basically in Dubai.
That's right.
So he's over here helping some VIP Vegas royalty with some hospitality stuff, but you didn't always start in hospitality.
No, I didn't actually, Brad. It's funny. I started as a car salesman.
So did I.
That was my first job in Dubai, and I was making little less than $700 a month.
Well, was it because you weren't very good?
No, it was because it was my first ever job. I didn't have anything on my resume. I finished my schooling in California and then I moved to Dubai because my family was living there. And that's the first job I got. And so I started selling cars and within a year I became a branch manager and they shifted me off to another emirate. And I enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. But that was just my start. And then I moved on to real estate and then started learning about shopping malls. And so I worked with one of the premier companies back in the day who had the first shopping mall in Dubai. And then I got trained with them. And then it was like I did about 4 or 5 different malls in Dubai. So my background is basically managing shopping malls and stuff.
So did they pay commission
On the
for
car
selling
sales?
cars?
So no, we didn't have a commission structure. It was just salaried.
So you were just like a regular salaried employee.
And that's it. That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely.
I started in the car business, but it was commission. And I thank God because I believe if you want to be successful, the first step anyone has to do is get in the position to receive commission.
Wow.
Would you agree?
I agree.
I don't see a lot of people on a salary making a killing.
True that. True that.
And even if they are, it's that's all they're paying themselves. They're actually behind it making money.
Yeah.
So you didn't get into commissions until when? Real estate?
So no, actually, even in real estate, I always had a salaried job till about 2004. I decided, you know what, I'm not going to work for anybody. I just decided to go on my own. And I got lucky. I came across this opportunity to open a nightclub. And this is a story that not a lot of people know, but now they will on your podcast. I've never shared it with anybody. So I went to see this friend of mine and he, this club had been sitting there for a long time, massive club, 44,000 square feet. And it was one of the first licensed outlets in Dubai. And that was allowed to sell alcohol. And I was visiting the office and I said to him, this club's been shut for many years. What are your plans with it? And he said to me, we're just being careful in who we want to give it to. So we don't want, bad people to come and create trouble and this, that, the other. And this was in the early 2000s, right? And so I said to him jokingly, I said, why don't you give me the club? Now, the story behind this, how this club thing came about is that I used to work as a bouncer in a club in LA. It was called the Red Onion. I don't know if you're familiar with. You remember that?
I do. So, the Red Onion.
Yeah. So I used to do the door over there and I used to see the owner pull up in his limousine and I used to say, wow, maybe one day I'll own a club. And that kind of just stayed in my head, right? And so when he mentioned this, I said to him, why didn't you give it to me? And he looked at me and he just kind of smiled. And then he called me the next day. He said, come to my office. And then I went to his office. He said, were you serious? I said, yeah. I was full of confidence. And he said to me, he said, "This is how much money I want for the rent." And the figure was large, Brad. We're talking in the millions, right? And so it was because it was massive, massive. And the only standalone club back in the day, because in Dubai, the rule was that you can only have a licensed bar in hotels, not outside on its own. But this was the only standalone bar. So I said to him, "Yeah, I'll take the club." And he knew me. He knew that I was a good person with a good record. And so I had little less than $3,000 in my bank account and a family. And I had no savings, nothing. That was all the money I had. So I called up my wife and I said, "Bring the checkbook and come here." And so she came. I said, "Write a check for $1 million." I swear to you, her hands were shaking. And she was looking at me. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Just go ahead and write the check." And she wrote the check and I handed it to the gentleman. And I said to him, I said, "You'll give me 2 months, 60 days before you cash it." I said, "I need 60 days to raise the money." He said, "Okay." So he took the check. I took the lease contract of the property. And then out I went trying to raise the money for this, for the rent and for refurbishing the place because it's been shut for a long time. Called up all my rich friends, Brad. Every single one I knew. Everybody told me to get lost. They said, "It's just not going to work. This is an old property. You did the biggest blunder of your life." And somehow my gut instinct told me it will work. And I was so passionate about it. I said, "I'm going to make it work." The challenge for me was that I'm going to take an old property that has been part of Dubai's sort of, history and turn it into something special. And so that was what was driving me. And so on the 59th day, I didn't have the money, Brad. And the check was due the next day. And in Dubai, the law is if your check bounces, you go to jail. There's no ifs, buts, nothing. You straight away put into jail if your check doesn't go through. That was the law back then. And so I was just praying. I just prayed to God. I said, I'm doing this with a good intention. I said, I want this to work. I really hope that you'll send me help from somewhere. At about 9:30 in the night, Brad, a friend of mine called me. He said, "Are you still looking for the investment?" I said, "Yes." He said, there's a friend who's here in Dubai. Why don't you go see him?" So I went at about 10:30 in the night to a hotel. And the guy who opened the door turned out to be a friend of mine I'd known for 20 years. He had moved to Canada and came back to Dubai. And I told him, I said, "This is the opportunity." And he had been in hospitality, so he knew that this was a great venue. And he said to me, he said, "Let's do it." I said, "There's a problem. I've got a check in the morning for $1 million dirhams." And so he said to me, he said, "Look, before I organize the money, it's going to take me a few days. So can you?" I said, "No, it has to go through in the morning." He said, "Okay, do you mind if you take a third partner on?" I said, "No, not at all." So he called another friend of his. He said, "Come now." At midnight, we shook hands, the three of us, and the check went through in the morning. And that was the start of something great.
What did it start?
Well, we won the Best Club Award for 4 years in a row.
Well, being no clubs there really, was there?
Well, they were small, but this was like the first massive club that opened in Dubai.
Who was in there? Like sheikhs and royalty?
No, actually, you'll be surprised, right? Because the expat community, the British community, the Australians, this multicultural people that are there in Dubai. And so they needed a place to go. And clubbing was big back in the day. It's not anymore. Nowadays, the nightclubs are dying. But at that time, house music was big. R&B was big. Hip hop was big. And so, we brought Tiesto to Dubai and we did a opening white party with him. And it was just an instant success. And so on the weekends, we'd get 3,000 people line out the door and we make it into a really successful venue. So I realized when I did that, now when I look back, I go, what a gutsy move you did with no money. Had I not been able to clear that check, I would have gone to prison, But I believed in it. I said it's going to happen. So now when I meet people, I tell them, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't have that passion to go after your dream, it'll never happen. Would I do that again now at this age? Maybe not, but back in the day.
We need a better sound effect.
That was one story that changed my life forever, because that was the start of my hospitality career.
Well, so you would advise someone to write a bad check, give it to them, and hope for the best?
Now thinking back, no, I would never do that.
You know what? You know what's funny?
Yeah.
This building.
Yeah.
I used to live across the street, and I'd say someday that's going to be Lightspeed right there.
Wow.
And I walked in here, the billionaire that owns it upstairs. I walked into him, and I said, "Hey, I'd like to kind of rent some of this space." Fortunately, like it wasn't rented. This whole floor was cement and exposed ceiling.
Wow.
There was nothing. It was just floor and ceiling.
And you were living across the...
I was living across the street.
Wow.
And I would just look at it and say, man, that's going to be Lightspeed. What if that was Lightspeed? So anyway, long story short, I walked in here. I wrote him a check. It wasn't for $1 million, thank God. But it might as well have been, because I didn't have it. And I told him the same thing. I need 2 weeks before you cash that check. And he said, no problem. And I went out and I freaking hustled and hustled and hustled and hustled. And probably 3 days before the 2 weeks was up, I closed the deal. They wired the money. Check was good.
How similar are our stories? That
wasn't $1 million check. It was
no, mine was a $1 million dirham check, which was $300,000.
Yeah, well, mine was I could look it up, but it might have been 40,000.
Yeah. But you know why? Now when I think back, I don't know what made me do that. I mean, honestly, I think to myself, did I do the right thing? But I think I did, because it was like make or break. I just wanted to do something extraordinary. And I think people who become successful in this world are the ones who take those risks. Sometimes you got to put it all on the line and just pray that it goes through. And I think most of the time it does, because you're doing something that you honestly believe in. A lot of people fail also, but I think there's some great success stories of people who've gone after their dream and taken the risk, and it's paid off,
For sure.
So,
matter of fact, most of the people that I know that are successful took some sort of risk.
Risk, exactly.
You got to be able to take a risk.
Yeah. I was hearing the story of the guy, he's a Chinese guy. Apparently he was sitting on a table with his friends, and they were all talking about some digital currency. And he was fascinated by their conversation. So he went home and he started doing research on it. And he saw a future. And so what he did was he sold his apartment that his mother had gifted him, which was worth $1 million US. And this I'm talking in early 2000 also. And he went and bought this digital currency for the full $1 million. His mother went berserk. She went crazy. She goes, how could you do that? That was your safety net. That was an asset that I wanted to put in your name and everything else. He just believed in it and he did it. And today he's the founder of Binance, company's worth 70 billion US or something. He bought Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I was offered Bitcoin at like $50 when it was $50. And I said, well, how do you use it? What do you do with it? And I said, pass.
That's it.
It made no sense to me.
It made no sense. Yeah. Yeah.
But now look.
Yeah. So
it's always, but now look.
Exactly.
So how much cash or how much money were you making with that nightclub?
I don't know if I want to disclose this on the show, but it was decent. It wasn't big money. It didn't make me, a few hundred millions or something like that. But it gave me enough to stand up on my feet and do other things that I wanted to pursue, So yeah, it was decent. I mean, again, remember that, I didn't have any experience in running clubs, but I found out very quickly that I had a flair for it. So I was the face. I had a very good friend of mine, Alex Bracken, who helped me with this club. And even today, people talk about it because it closed after a few years.
What was it called?
The Lodge. The Lodge. Yeah. Chi was the energy and Lodge was the club. It was called from the beginning, and it was the place for everybody, the expats, to go there. And they started a trend way back when I was young. I used to go to that club before I owned it. And they used to serve breakfast after closing hours. So there would be a massive buffet of breakfast for everybody who had come to the club. So there'd be scrambled eggs, sausages, and potatoes and everything else. And people would eat and then go home. So it was really, it was a legendary place. And who would have thought that I would have ended up owning it with my partners? But I think if one has a dream, and if they keep manifesting it in their head, it happens. And you've got to visualize it. I think that is the key. You need to visualize it and see it happening, Like it's my dream now. People ask me, what is your ultimate dream? And I go, I want to own a yacht, And I think, it's a passion that drives you to something like that. I'm not into cars. I'm not into anything. But a yacht is what I want. And why do I want it? I would rather buy a yacht than a house because I can take it anywhere. I can take it anywhere in the world, park it, and that'll be my house. That'll be my home. And so that's how I think. I go, I want to do the Amalfi Coast. I want to go down to the Andaman Sea and then maybe go towards Maldives and just cruise and just live on the boat. Doesn't have to be anything huge, but a decent sized boat where I'd feel like it's my home. It's comfortable for me. So,
was there a club in Dubai called the Rattlesnake or something like that?
I wouldn't know. I haven't heard of it.
That first visit I went there.
Which was when? Tell me the year.
I'd have to look in my phone, but let's say.
In the 90s?
Yeah. No.
No?
2000, let's say 8.
2008. I think there was, yeah. I remember now.
So when we went to Dubai, they were just starting to build it. Like the Jumeirah Tower wasn't built yet. It was.
You mean the Burj Al Arab, the hotel?
Which
the
one's
7-star hotel?
No, that was there. We went there.
Okay, so
the tallest one.
Oh, Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa.
Oh, okay.
That one wasn't finished yet. It was started, but it wasn't finished.
Right.
When was that built and finished?
Oh, I wouldn't know the exact year. But,
well, I could look at my phone and find out when the pictures were because we took a bunch of pictures, went on the dunes,
it's all documented, how it all came together. There's a whole film on it.
Yeah, so we were out there and we decided to go, well, it was just part of the trip to Amsterdam first.
Okay.
And then we came from Amsterdam to Dubai and stayed in Dubai. And the rumor was like, number one, you better not do drugs, bring drugs, nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. Mm-hmm. They will arrest your ass quick.
That's right.
So, but we were coming from Dubai. Well,
you're coming from Amsterdam.
Or Amsterdam.
That's right. Where drugs are.
Well, that's what you do there.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't do anything except maybe smoke some weed.
Yeah.
But which I did. But there was a couple on the plane that came with us, and somehow this is a rumor. I didn't witness it, but somehow they got in some sort of issue. And they took their blood. I think they were driving, or they take your blood when you get pulled over or something. This is what the rumor was amongst the little group we were with. But apparently they took their blood, and because there was weed in their blood, they went to jail for 4 years. Is that true?
I mean, look, I was just telling Chris that on the airline ticket that I have from Emirates, it says on a ticket that, there's zero tolerance for drugs. So please do not try and attempt to bring it to this country. And they have got zero tolerance for it.
Yeah, but they didn't bring any. It was in their bloodstream.
Okay, so they must have done something where...
They did something where they took their blood.
They must have been caught for drunk driving, or something must have happened where they've taken the blood test. But look, I have nothing but good things to say about UAE. And I don't say Dubai, I say UAE because it's a country. Dubai is a very popular brand. It's an emirate. But then we've got 7 emirates that make the UAE. And you've been there now, 3 times, I guess, yeah?
2.
Twice, right?
Now, the first time, the rumor was, do anything wrong, you're in trouble. I got off the plane. I was standing there waiting, smoking a cigarette. This is back when I was a loser. I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette outside, and someone came up and they said, they didn't speak English, but they were basically telling me, don't stand here. I was standing in the women's waiting area. And I'm like, man, this place is for real. Like you couldn't, women were here and men were here. They had two different things. And then if you go to the beach, women over here, men over here. And I'm like, this is never going to be, because their rumor was the guy wants to make it the destination place of the world. And I said, well, dude, like with all these strict rules, there's no one going to come here. Not with these rules. Because I mean, like people want to go there and party and have fun. And like, dude, everyone will be scared they're going to go to jail for whatever. Someone said that there was somebody on the beach and they were kissing. And so they told them, hey, no public displays of affection. And then they wouldn't stop kissing. So boom, they had a cop come, and they were married, but not to each other. So bang, 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 prison. Like it was always like this scary, like you do anything wrong, you're going to prison. So I always thought back then, never is it going to get anywhere. Yeah. Well, when I went back, dude, it got somewhere. It's freaking magnificent. I would say luxurious buildings, killer architecture, killer food, excellent culture, safe as can be. Everybody's polite, bars, restaurants, the whole bit. So like they must have laxed up on the rules, or those weren't really rules.
So it's very interesting you bring up all of this. Sometimes we do get press, very bad press over there. Look, I'm from Pakistan. That's where I was born. But I consider myself an Emirati now, really, to be honest with you, even though I don't have a UAE passport, but it's my country. And I think passport is just a travel document. I don't need to have a UAE passport to think I'm from that country. I love UAE. And it's given me so much. I earned my money there. I got married there. I had my kids there. I raised my kids over there, and I'm still earning in that country. I buried my father in Dubai. I buried my grandmother in Dubai.
You buried?
Buried them.
Oh, buried.
Yeah. So I have a sentimental attachment to this land. I think UAE is probably one of the greatest countries on this planet. And what UAE has achieved in the last 20, 25 years, you can't find that in the entire history of in the last couple of centuries. The development, the growth. And because I've witnessed it right from scratch, right? I've been there for over 40 years. My parents came there even earlier. The rulers, who were very simple people, because back then, you know what life was like in the desert, right? Small trading port. We had His Highness Sheikh Zayed, if you've heard the name, bin Sultan, Allah yarhamu. He was we consider him the founding father. And then, of course, we had Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed, who's the father of Sheikh Mohammed, the present ruler, Allah yarhamu. And these were very wise people. They saw the hard life, the difficult life. But, their children watched their fathers make very wise decisions. And so as they grew up, they acquired that wisdom from their fathers. And they work for the people. Anybody. Brad, if you are there living in UAE, you're treated just like anybody else. This is such a misconception that the locals of UAE are given more privilege, more attention, more this thing than the expats. Not true. I would not have lived there for so long. I had the option of moving to UK or to the US. I didn't do that. My children were born in a hospital there. Would you believe I didn't pay one single dollar? All my 4 kids, everything was paid for by the government. Not even for the medicines, Brad. Everything was taken care of by the government. So
if I move there next month, I have no medical bills?
So now it's changed because it's grown, right? At that time, we were very small. So the government was able to give free health services and stuff. And now we've got a huge population now. So it's changed now. You have to get health insurance, which is still pretty affordable. But the point I'm trying to make is that people think that it's so strict over there. It's not. Police, I'll tell you, you'll find the finest police anywhere in the world in UAE, whether it may be Abu Dhabi or Dubai or the other Emirates. They are told, they are asked to be polite to people. They all go to the police college. We have a police college over there.
Well, because they want tourism.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's like Vegas used to be when the mafia ran it.
That's right. That's right. Now, you remember Abu Dhabi has the oil reserves and stuff like that. Their economy is very large. Dubai, on the other hand, relies more on trade, right?
Now.
And so now, yeah, exactly. And tourism, of course. And so I'll tell you, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, who's the present ruler, he wanted to give the people the best while he was alive. He said, and he's, mashallah, he's alive and he's kicking and he's doing well. And he wanted to give his people the best of the best while he's there. He said, I don't want to wait. I want them to experience the good life now. And so he started building. He said, I'll build and they'll come. And that's exactly what's happened. Sheikh Mohammed is a visionary leader. Honestly, I tell you something. When he walks into a shopping mall and we're sitting in a cafe or he comes into a restaurant, people stand up and start clapping for him. I've never seen such kind of love for somebody who's running an emirate, you know. And similarly, we've got Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed from Abu Dhabi, who's the president. And he also does so much for it. They all look after the people who are living in that country. When COVID came, there was no distinction that we couldn't get our vaccine shots and somebody else got it first or this, that. They set up amazing systems throughout the UAE. We all got our shots, priority, and beautifully arranged.
Did you have to?
Well, I mean, that was the law at the time, right? Everybody had to go and get the shots.
Gee.
Well, nobody came home to check. If I didn't want to go, I could have not gone. But they said that it's important for you to get the shots, so everybody went and got the shots.
What do they say now?
Now they're saying that it shouldn't have. They shouldn't have taken the shots. At least that's what I've heard. Yeah,
yeah.
But I know a lot of people who didn't take the shots. I even went and got the boosters. You remember the boosters? You didn't get one?
Hell no.
Oh, so you knew that this was not.
I knew.
You knew something that we didn't know.
Dude, listen. Here in America,
yeah.
They don't beg and they don't, plead. They were begging people to go get the shot and luring you in. And it was like, no,
nobody went.
This is weird. No, 3/4 of the population did. But some people like me said, I don't get it. Like, why do you want me to get the shot so badly? And they're like, because you can get people sick. How do I get anyone sick if they got the shot?
That is so crazy.
So like, if you got the shot, well, then why are you worried about me if the shot works?
Yeah.
Because I would be the one without the shot. Aren't I the one that's exposed?
Yeah.
But they kept saying, you got to get a shot so you make everyone else safe.
Right.
Well, if everyone has the shot, why aren't they safe? It just didn't make any sense.
Wow.
I drove by the freeway and there's a club down there on the way to the strip and it says Hustlers, the Hustler Club.
Yeah.
And I was driving by and it had a sign that said free lap dance with every vaccine.
Oh.
I saw the governor of New York, I think it was.
Hilarious.
Maybe it was Chicago, but he was doing a commercial and he was like, there's a hamburger. Are you telling me that I can get a free hamburger if I get a vaccine? And then somebody put fries and he's like, oh, and fries is part of the deal. And it was like, what the hell is going on? They're begging everybody. But the main thing that I kind of witnessed early, thankfully, was they said the hospitals were slammed with everybody dying and sick.
That's right.
Well, I lived by a hospital and it wasn't slammed. And I saw news, news.
Especially because they were short on ventilators, right?
Yeah,
Did
it was like everybody's dying and everybody's sick.
Right.
But I lived by the hospital. So I drove by the hospital and it wasn't busy and it wasn't slammed. I'm looking right at it. And the news is showing it full.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is weird. I go, this is weird. Now, at first, they were taking armored trucks. They're taking the money out of the casinos. The strip was shut down. That's never happened.
Wow.
So at first I thought, oh my God, everyone's going to die. Now, if they immediately came out with the shot, I might have fell for it because I thought everyone was a goner. They were playing it down.
Nobody in your family went for the vaccine?
Business owners, listen up. If your business needs more money, and it will, banks aren't built to move quick. They'll make you fill out a ton of paperwork, wait for a decision, and by that time, the opportunity has passed you by. So if you want bank rates without bank delays, you need to check out Cardiff. Cardiff's been helping businesses get same-day funding for over 20 years. We're talking up to $500,000 approved and funded, quicker and easier than the big banks. You can apply online in under 2 minutes and get funded as fast as the same day. So whether you need quick money to bridge a gap, do more marketing, get some equipment, or even hire more people, I'm telling you, apply today at cardiff.co. Stop letting slow money cost you opportunities that move fast. There's no impact on your personal credit, so go to cardiff.co and apply. Subject to approval, terms and rates vary. Cardiff. Borrow better.
Well,
None. Well, again, none that I mentored.
like your parents and stuff?
Parents were in Oregon.
Because the old people were supposed to go get the shots first.
Well, my parents are gone, so they didn't have to do that. But
Sorry.
but my in-laws, they didn't.
They didn't.
My kids and I didn't. Now, a couple of kids that are already grown, a couple of them went and got one, and I think one got them all. And I'm hoping everything's going to be okay. But dude, now they know that there's some vaccine injuries. But, it's been this long. I think you're going to be fine now.
So coming back to your question, that's a very important question you asked me. So now, because you've been there recently, I'll tell you something. They just want people to follow the law, obey the law. You can do whatever you want in the privacy of your home, drink, do whatever. When you come out in public, behave yourself.
That's why it's so safe and nice there.
And Brad, to be honest with you, I mean, would you want to see drunk people outside your house on the streets and acting stupid and drunk, and wearing, like literally being naked and stuff like that? Nobody wants that. And we are in an Islamic country. It has an Islamic culture. But again, having said that, 160 plus nationalities living in harmony, bro. That is a unique model.
And it's safe.
It's safe. You've got the mosque.
Nobody would steal anything. You could leave your money and your wallet on your car,
Absolutely.
Walk away, come back 2 hours, your money's still there.
Yeah, we've got mosques, synagogue, we've got the temples, we've got the gurdwaras, we've got all the religious. Everybody's free to practice their religion. There's this thing, you've got the nightclubs, you've got the bars, you've got the restaurants, you've got the beaches. The girls go in bikinis, they go party at the beach clubs. We've got some of the biggest brands from Ibiza. We've got local brands over there. It's a very modern city.
Now,
all they tell you is, don't behave stupid in public. We are there to take care of you. And they want to keep it like that because at the end of the day, when you come as a tourist, they want you to feel happy and safe.
yeah, well, it works.
And it works.
Because I did.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I have never locked my car. I have never locked my front door. They're open, because we have no, look, every city has some sort of crime. In Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, or in UAE, there is little crime. But it's not the kind of crime. First of all, did you know that UAE is gun-free? You didn't know that, huh? Nobody's allowed to carry a gun over there, except the police. So imagine, you are never going to get shot by somebody. Never.
Assuming the police are...
Well, why the police doesn't just randomly shoot people over there. It's never happened. I have been there 40 plus years, never heard of a policeman taking out his gun and shooting somebody.
Then what do they have them for?
So they have it for protection. It is, the police is supposed to carry guns.
Then why wouldn't you have any for protection?
But here's the thing, right? There is no danger over there as such that you would have to worry about somebody attacking you or assaulting you or...
What about with a fist or a knife?
Okay, so if you hit me first, you go to jail. Or you are rather...
well, that's the same here.
You can't raise your hand on anybody, Maybe in self-defense, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I'll tell you, whoever raises the hand first is the person who gets into trouble. I don't know. It's the same here? I don't know.
No, here you get in a fight, someone's going to jail.
Someone, but not the guy who hit you first?
Probably.
Yeah, because they say, don't raise your hand.
Yeah, well, again, to me, when I think, I wonder how and why it's so nice there. Well, I think it's because there's a ruler. What he says goes, period. There's no committees. There's no Democrats and Republicans. There's no two-party.
No, we do have a Federal National Council. I don't know if you know that.
Well, the boss is the boss.
The boss is the boss.
Period.
There is a federal national council. They have elected members there. And
They control what?
So they are the representatives of the people. They go and tell the sheikh. They speak to him. They explain to him. They tell him what's happening. Everything else from their constituencies. This is a very bad misconception that one man makes the rule. It's not like that. You know, they're very, very wise people. They have their families. They have the people. And, you know, they're out and about mingling with the common man.
That's what I thought was weird too.
Brad, I mean, you tell me, can one of these presidents or somebody just walk randomly into a mall or into a restaurant?
But not safely.
How many Secret Service agents and security and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Our rulers over there have
loved.
none of that.
They're loved.
Bro, he just comes in a car. I swear to you, I have not once but several times seen His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. He comes in his car. He gets out. Everybody knows his number plate, by the way. It's one.
Dude, we were at a restaurant. I forget where it was. It was attached to the hotel we were staying at.
Right.
And when I went in there, they were telling me that like the main sheikh, that's his table. And like,
really?
And when he comes in, well, that's where he sits when he comes in. But I'm like, so he just shows up. They're like, yeah, he'll just walk in and sit over there. That's the table
He'll
sits
sit at any table that's available.
And he eats, and freaking people are walking around like they love him.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying they love the guy.
I'm telling you, they stand and clap for him. People adore the rulers over there. They are super friendly, super nice.
How do you get to be the ruler? Just blood? You're born in the right family?
Well, that's it, right? There's a family lineage that's coming, and then the father to the son to the son. It carries on.
Who's the next one?
So right now it's Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. He's the ruler of Dubai. And then his son, Crown Prince Fazza. You must have seen him, right? Have you not seen him on the Instagram? Oh, you got to follow him. He is this dynamic, good-looking, handsome prince in the true meaning. He is an adventurer.
What's his Instagram?
Fazza. I think it's Fazza. F-A-Z-Z-A. Fazza.
The old Fazza, huh? He's the boss coming up.
Sheikh Hamdan bin Muhammad is his name. And I'll tell you what, he loves everything, animals, horses. He does parachute stuff. He does everything.
Fazza fans?
Well, that's not his official then. It should be...
F-A-Z-Z-A just says Fazza fans.
Sheikh Hamdan bin Muhammad.
Fans of Sheikh Hamdan.
Chris, can you look up Sheikh Hamdan bin Muhammad?
Al-Maktoum.
His official Instagram. But yeah.
What's his official one? Group? How do you know that? Group Fazza. There he is. Group Fazza. Yeah, I'll follow him. He's going to be like, who's that?
He is such an amazing person. He's young. He's dynamic. He's always with his father. He's learning from the best. And he's the crown prince. He's going to be the next ruler of Dubai.
Who is Faz 3? Is that different? They look similar.
No, that's just Sheikh.
Is this him?
That's him, Sheikh Hamdan, yeah.
Well, Faz 3, which has a check mark, has 17 million followers.
That's him then.
Group Fazza has 1 million.
No, so that must be the official one then for Sheikh Hamdan then. I follow him on Instagram.
So
but
Faz F-A-Z 3 is probably his real one.
That's it. The one with the 17 million followers.
17 million.
Yeah. If you follow his lifestyle, he is the coolest prince in the true meaning. Like, he loves, animals. He's so kind. He loves his horses.
Can you imagine being born that guy?
Yeah.
Like, man, a legit prince, like Absolutely. With unlimited funds.
Absolutely.
Like they've got unlimited funds.
That's right. He's going to be the ruler of Dubai. Yeah,
I need to buddy up with him. Then I'll move there.
But he's learning from the best. His father is his mentor, his guide.
Well, I heard his father was even better.
Exactly. So it's not the matter of being better. It is times are changing, and you got to keep pace with that. So,
but I mean, each one is loved more and more and more. It's like
I'm telling you, You can't imagine how people adore these
So
guys.
they were a good family.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
why would people move to Dubai
Why would
from
they move
America
to Dubai?
or from the UK?
From anywhere. Look, I'll tell you.
So there's no
to
better country than Dubai.
No. Hold on a second. We can't say that. I don't want to say that Dubai is the best city in the world or the best emirate in the world. UAE as a country is an amazing country. I've lived there all my life. I had the options to move. I did not. And I'll tell you the reason why. For one, I think for my kids, for example, they were born and raised there. I swear they've got friends from 20, 30 different nationalities. It opened their minds. It opened their brain. They are now familiar with other cultures, other religions, other people. Well, if you grow up in one particular area, let's say California, you are raised there, you go to school there, you work there, and then you die there, you've only been exposed to your
Democrats.
That's it. Whatever the environment is. Over there, they have Syrian, Lebanese, Australians, Americans, British, Canadians. They got friends from all nationalities. And it's made them grown as a person, you know? It's amazing, Brad. It's amazing.
So do you get what's called a golden visa?
Absolutely. You come and buy a property, you get instant golden visa. 10 years.
Which means you can just stay for 10 years
10
just like
years.
you're a
You
normal
don't have
citizen.
to worry about nothing. As long as you own that property. And you know how much you need to invest? Only
million?
600,000 US.
600,000?
That's it. That's it.
And then
600K and you got your golden visa.
Is there extradition?
What's that mean?
Like if you're a crook from the US or Australia and you go there, are they allowed to extradite you?
Some countries have that.
Most countries do nowadays.
There's a lot of countries that don't sign that. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's where all the crooks are going to go. Why would you not sign it?
No, but see, you can also, if you've lived there long enough and you invest money, you can even get the UAE passport, which is one of the best passports in the world.
Why?
In the ranking. Because have you ever heard UAE, causing a problem or creating some trouble or, it's the most stable country in that region.
Well,
You will hear about wars.
What about Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia, the same thing. Saudi Arabia is a very stable country. And now with the new crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, His Highness, they're doing amazing now. That Neom city, you must have heard of it, right? The new city he's building, Neom, it's incredible. There's growth.
What about the wall or the line or something they're building?
That's the one. That's the one.
the
It's
line.
called Neom.
The line is like a tall wall building. Where
It's basically lengthwise whatever he's doing. It's like
a line.
It's beautiful, absolutely spectacular. But you should come and see now. But how many days were you there in Dubai? I don't know how much time. 10 days? Did you go around? Did you go and see all the new projects?
Not big time.
No. Okay. Well, this time
we drove around. We went to the top of the Jumeirah Tower. What's it called?
the Burj Khalifa,
Burj Khalifa.
and you got a bird's eye view of the whole city.
Yeah, we went, obviously stayed at the Atlantis, so that was nice.
Yeah.
We went to that huge shopping mall.
Dubai Mall.
That was the ridiculous size mall. Like if someone's a
It's
shopper.
the world's largest mall. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, my wife loves shopping and she wants to go back every day we talk. She's like, let's go to Dubai.
Wow.
But she likes it. But I was there twice. Once hot as hell. Once hot, but not hot as hell.
So now,
Matter of fact, when I got home last night, she said to me, because I brought home the Dubai chocolate you gave, which my kids immediately ate. And you know what they said? This is the real stuff.
Yeah, I didn't get you the other one. This was the actual one.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I said, that came from there.
Yeah,
I said, that's the real stuff. Because when we were there, that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
But she said, yeah, let's go back. But oh shit, I forgot what
Brad,
I was going to say.
come and spend some time there. I'll show you around. I'll take you to all the different places and I'll show you the real Dubai. You didn't see the old Dubai, right?
The last time I was there.
No, but did you go into the souks and all that?
No.
The gold souk and the spice souk and all of that. See, people come, they are carried away with the glitz and the glamour and, the malls and the buildings. But there's another side to Dubai, which is so amazing. You see the history, and they've preserved it beautifully. You cross the river, it's the creek. You go in a boat, you can cross over, and then you just walk in those souks. It's a fascinating experience, Brad. Fascinating.
So are you ever going to move?
No, I love Dubai. I'm
So
good.
so what do you do now for income?
So I've invested in a couple of companies, and so I get some money from there. And then, of course, like I said, I'm working with somebody here in Vegas. I don't want to name him. And so I'm involved with him. And that's why my trips to Vegas are so often. And then, believe it or not, I'm starting a leather jacket company.
Why leather
So-
jackets?
Because a lot of my friends were saying, we want to get a leather jacket. Would you get it for us from Pakistan? Because Pakistan is known for its leather. And so I did some research. I went to the leather factories. I went to the tanneries where they make the leather from the skin and everything. So I went through the whole thing, right? And I was just fascinated the way they make these leather jackets. And yesterday, Chris will tell you, the jacket that I sell, or I'm going to be selling for like really cheap, was $1,500, bro. The margin is like 1,000+%, right? So I'm thinking to myself, how much are these retailers making on it? Something that costs $150 is selling it for $1,500. It's ridiculous.
Well, a nice jacket costs you $10,000.
Absolutely.
My Gucci
Yeah.
that I have in my chair right now,
Yeah.
that was like $6,000 because it's Gucci.
But it's leather.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know
But it doesn't. It's still the $100 jacket. It's called
no, but
Gucci.
what
so
kind of leather is it?
I don't know.
You see? Now you have
It's stiff.
different kinds of, okay.
It's a stiff leather.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. But because it's Gucci was my point. You know,
You pay for the brand, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So are you going to build like a high-end brand? Not if you're going to sell
I've
them
just
cheap.
created my own brand. It's,
But you're going to sell them cheap?
no, mines are not going to be cheap, but it's not going to be super expensive. I'm doing premium jackets because I want to cater to, well, my instructions to the factory is I want the best quality leather with the best hardware on it, which means the zippers and the buttons and everything else. So I'm going to be somewhere in the middle.
Are you going to open a store in Dubai?
No, I'm going to sell it online.
How will people know it's quality if they don't get to feel it?
Very good. So there'll be a guarantee certificate attached to it that if you don't like it, send it back to us. We'll refund you the 100% of the money right away without even asking any questions. And my packaging and I've got a quality control guy sitting in the factory who's going to be checking every single piece that's going to leave there.
So you're not doing hospitality other than just consulting?
I'm too old now, Brad. I can't do it anymore. It takes the life out of you. You know, it affects your marriage, it affects your family, your kids. Because hospitality, I believe that you can only be successful if you're hands-on. Like in my club, I went and checked on my bathrooms myself. I made sure that if there was more than one cigarette in the ashtray, it was removed right away. I'm very particular about giving quality service to my clients. So if you're not there yourself, you trust somebody else to run it for you, 9 out of 10 times I'll fail.
So were you like
You know.
the Steve Wynn of Dubai?
So, no, I wish I was. But you know, Vin is opening his casino there, right? You know,
Is
that?
he?
Yeah. He's invested about $3.5–4 billion now.
Well, that's going to be probably the nicest one because
So-
Steve Wynn's got some.
Oh, it's the first casino. It's
flair.
the only casino. So it's coming up and it's going to be ready in 2027.
Well, that'll.
Construction has already started, by the way.
Yeah, but that's going to make a fortune.
Yeah.
It'll be
And-
the only legalized gambling facility there.
That's correct. As of right now, it's the only one that's been announced, but you will see more in Dubai and everywhere else. It'll happen.
Are you
Yeah.
able to go in there and get yourself a license?
Well, I don't know what the rules are going to be, but I'll tell you this, that they've got a gaming commission. They've got a gaming committee sitting in Abu Dhabi, which is monitoring everything. So it's going to be done very, very professionally. And some of those guys are from Las Vegas, who are implementing all of the rules and stuff. So it's being done right, you know.
So tell people why they might consider checking out Dubai as a destination to move to.
Safety, security, number one. And it's the cosmopolitan lifestyle. You got the Michelin star restaurants. You've got the most beautiful beaches, which people don't even know exist. Infrastructure, top class infrastructure. Cleanliness, can't beat it. You know, you've got the best of the best that's being offered over there. Why would you not want to go there?
Because
If
it's
you can-
hotter than
it's-
hell.
So here's what people do, right? In the summer, everybody travels, okay? So they go away. And the privileged class, they'll have a home in the summer somewhere in Europe or wherever. And then in the wintertime, I wouldn't want to be anywhere in the world. From, let's say, end of October till about end of March, April, the weather is spectacular in Dubai. Beautiful in UAE. And you I don't know if you know, we have mountains as well, right?
Didn't see any mountains.
Yeah. We've got some beautiful mountains. People don't know. See, there's 7 Emirates, and they're all within an hour and a half hours drive. So you can go from one end, which is Fujairah, all the way down to Abu Dhabi in less than 2.5 hours, 3 hours max. That's the total, distance.
What's the speed limit?
So on the highways, you can go up to 140 kilometers an hour. I don't know how much is that in miles per hour, but it's 140 kilometers. I guess 80 miles an hour. And then on the inner roads, they've got speed. They're very, very tough on the speed. That's why we don't have too many accidents and stuff.
Well, you have Lamborghini cop cars. I know that.
Bugatti.
Oh, Bugatti. I didn't see those. I saw Lambos.
We've got every car you can think of, from G63 to Ferraris to Lamborghinis to everything.
Cop cars.
Cop cars. Absolutely.
With lights and everything.
Some driven by police women officers. Yeah. That's what I love about Dubai, right? Everything is, they've tried to give an image that, look, we are modern, we are new. Come and experience our hospitality. And I think Dubai has some of the best hospitality in the world, because the closest would be Far East. I love the hospitality in Thailand, and then this is the Philippines and Vietnam and these countries. They are also very good in hospitality because they've got so much tourism. But I think why UAE stands out is that everything is fairly new. And they've tried to do the best of the best. So the malls are the biggest and the best. The dining scene has exploded over there. The hotels, Brad, I mean, I'll tell you, just on the Palm alone, if you look at the hotels, top class. The gentleman I'm working with here, he stayed in the Royal Atlantis, and he loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, we went there to eat, and they set out that little outside area.
Oh, yeah?
We smoked, what do you call it?
Was it hot when you were there?
No,
it was okay.
Yeah. It was, I remember what my wife said. She said, we were there 1 year ago today. So yesterday, we were in Dubai a year ago.
Why did you plan a visit?
I will. I'm going to come back.
And I'm going to take you to
I wouldn't move there, though.
No, you don't have to move there.
The only way I'd move there is like if I sold everything and now I just got tons of dough and I'm just like an investor and I don't care. But what you do here, Brad, why don't you set up a branch office there? Because it's not that easy.
Because it's all online anyways.
I know, but I don't know that, like, the 90% of the online training comes from the United States.
Yeah, but you've got
maybe the culture, it's different. I don't know. But I'd come visit and hang and check it out. So one day maybe, but it's not, I got enough doors to knock here. You think I'm going to go to Dubai and start knocking?
That's a huge market. Don't forget that. And they've got the money. So what you're charging here, if let's say, for example, you're charging $10, you can charge $20 over there because people have the, income over there. So what I'm saying.
Not everybody.
Well, listen.
Dude, there's people over there cleaning my room just like here.
It's not in a cheap city to live in. I mean, you can live cheaply over there. And there are areas where you can get accommodation really cheap and the food is very cheap and everything else. But then also you've got the high-end side of it, right? But the interesting thing that's happened in the last few years is that a lot of rich folks have started to move here, right? We never heard in Dubai a house being sold for $100 million or $200 million. That is what is happening now, is that properties have just gone insane, right? And people are building some spectacular houses. So the houses on the Palm initially were sold for only $5 million. 5 million dirhams, 6 million dirhams. So that's like $1.5 million on the Palm. I'm talking when Palm was first built, right? Today, you can't touch anything for less than $15 million on the Palm. You see how the property values have gone up?
Yeah, it's getting popular.
Yeah, it's crazy. Invest in Dubai. That's my advice.
Invest in Dubai, folks.
Invest in Dubai.
And at least go over there for a visit. Now, if everybody comes over for the visit, where do they find you? Where do they track you down to?
Oh my goodness. I guess now that you mentioned my Instagram, I guess that would be the best place for them. So,
Are you ever on it?
I'm sorry?
Are you ever on Instagram?
Yeah, well, I mean, I check on it once in a while, but, kind of like you never check your WhatsApp.
Well, that's because WhatsApp's not real big here.
I know. Nobody seems to communicate on WhatsApp here. It's funny.
Outside of the country, everybody's on WhatsApp.
Wow.
But here, it's just not a thing.
So for people who's watching this podcast, I was sending messages to Brad and he didn't even open his WhatsApp. And so when I went to him, I said, "Did you see your last message?" He's like, "Yeah, that was a week ago."
Well, now you know. So every time you come visit or I'll come visit, now I'll check my WhatsApp.
But I welcome you and please come with your family. And I'll tell you what, you will have the most amazing experience. Honestly, people are so kind and nice over there. I'll take you to some of my local friends' houses.
Give one piece of advice to an entrepreneur that's trying to build a business and still in the struggle.
In Dubai or anywhere in the world?
Here.
In the US?
Yeah.
See, I keep saying this to Chris as well, that, you've got to surround yourself with positive people, number one. Number two, I believe that you have to go after your dream with a passion. If you are half-hearted in your effort, you have to give it your 100%. And faith in God, because, I'm a believer. So if you have these three elements, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. But surrounding yourself with good people is the key. Absolutely the key.
Do you know the name of your leather jacket company yet?
Yes.
What is it?
It's called Exo Studio.
Exo?
Studio.
Like XO?
Exo. EXO stands for extraordinary. So,
folks, there's your new best leather jacket for less than what you can buy them for anywhere else.
Absolutely. And you are a great example of an entrepreneur. I hope one day you'll write a book on it, because I just learned a few things about you from your secretary, and she was telling me how hard you've worked.
Have you read my book?
No, I haven't, Brad. I didn't even know you had a book.
I do.
Wow. Will you give me one before I leave?
Indeed. It's not about entrepreneurship. It kind of is, but it's just called The Hard Way. Lessons I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I wrote it for mainly, people coming up, and because a lot of people, it takes a long time for them to learn the basics. And the basics, believe it or not, are the fundamentals. And if you master the fundamentals, man, the rest of it's not that difficult.
How did that come into you, though?
Through learning it the hard way.
Oh,
mistake after mistake after mistake, But now, now that I'm an old guy, I can look back and realize what I did right and what I did wrong. Yeah. So I just put it in a book based on the lessons I learned and how I learned them the hard way.
So you want to give good advice to the young people.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to go through
They don't have to be young, If someone isn't financially
savvy,
or just successful, because dude, I used to have no money. My family came from no money, and money makes a big difference in your, I think, quality of life. Assuming you're a quality person, you can get more money as a piece of shit, and you're just now a big piece of shit. So it's not just money that makes you a better person, but if you're a good person, a lot of times you think you can't make money because you're a good person. You got to screw people to make it. No, you don't. You have to solve problems. You have to be kind. You have to be generous. You have to, have the right energy. And so it just took me a long time to learn it. And if I can do it, I'm telling you, anyone can do it. So
can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Do you believe in luck?
I do.
And how do you define luck?
Well, again, the old definition is when preparation meets opportunity.
Right.
But I mean, I'm a lucky guy. Like, I'm just lucky. When I was 2 years old, I was supposed to be dead. Lucky. One time I was swimming across a river, was about to drown because I shouldn't have swam across this river, and frickin' out of the blue, a pallet floats by.
My goodness.
Like, I can go through a million luckies, and I'm always lucky. And I think it's blessed. Obviously, it's not luck. I think I'm blessed, and I have a protector that's got a bigger plan. I think eventually, because like I'm just so lucky. One time, my wife likes roulette, so we're at this Super Bowl party at the Aria, I believe, and we come out, and she wanted to play a little roulette. So I said, okay, let's play some roulette. I said, it's going to be 11. Boom. It was 11. No one was listening, by the way. And then I closed my eyes. Boom. Called the next one. And still no one's listening. There's players at the table. My wife didn't listen either. Boom. Third one. Boom. Fourth one.
In a row.
Boom. Fifth one. Now, by the fourth one, people were starting to listen. The fifth one, casino kicked me off the table.
Oh my!
They didn't know what I was doing, and I wasn't doing anything except closing my eyes
and focus
and saying, "What's the next number?" And I just see a number, dude. If that ain't lucky, I don't know what is. I'm lucky, but I don't necessarily believe in luck like people think, But I do believe timing is important, preparation is important, and the work that you put in. So everyone calls you lucky when it's really not luck. But I do believe there's some luck involved.
So what is that one ingredient that made you successful, Brad? What is that one thing, if you had to pick out in your body, in your personality, what was that one thing that made you today who you are?
In my belief,
yeah,
the ability to sell.
Wow.
The ability to close, the ability to persuade, like the ability to sell. Because without sales, dude, I would be just like everybody else in my family.
And that's what your company is all about.
Well, no, not really.
That's what you started, right? This Lightspeed virtual training?
Yeah, but it's a training software.
But it's related to sales, right?
Trains anything.
Trains anything. Okay.
Yeah, but I started out being a sales trainer. And then I developed the platform to deliver the sales training, and then ran into all these people that needed to train on other things. So I said, well, that software will train anything, not just sales. And so then I pivoted and started selling the software to all the sales trainers, all the, customer service trainers, all the frickin' any kind of trainer, companies that wanted to train their teams, people who wanted to sell training to people. And so now, the software is a training software. It trains anything, photography.
I want to ask you something. So I remember when I was in university, we had a visiting professor from another university, and he asked all of us, what is the definition of selling? And I promise you, every answer he said, you guys are wrong. He said, you have to learn to sell yourself first before you can sell the product, which means if I don't like Brad as a person, I'm not going to buy from you. But if you are a nice person, if I like you, I'll buy anything from you. Do you agree with that theory?
No.
No? So you don't have to sell yourself first before you sell the product.
Well, 9 times out of 10, when you buy, well, you should, and you should also sell yourself so you can justify the value and provide value. But I think it's a mistake not selling yourself. But the first thing you need to do if you want to be good in sales is buy it yourself. In other words, sell yourself on yourself. So have some confidence, have some believability. But I can sell stuff that like, for example, I've bought things that I didn't like the people. I didn't even know the people.
But you bought it.
Sure. I wanted it.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if you like Joe and you're not a big fan of Bob, but they have the same product and Bob's is half the price, who are you buying it from?
I got you.
Who are you buying it from?
I got you. I understand exactly what you're saying.
So you don't need to like them.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, you have to trust them.
Right.
So
right.
Trust is, I think, the number one factor. And again, it all focuses on you. So you're right. When I started training people, I would train them, first of all, how to like themselves and how to trust themselves and how to get some ethics and integrity and really learn how to transfer enthusiasm and transfer certainty.
Wow.
And I think that's when people naturally start to trust that, like, man, this guy loves what he's talking about.
Do you read a lot of books, Brad?
Yeah, I do now.
See, that's one thing I learned. I was reading an article and it said the most successful people in the world read a lot of books. And they asked them, what kind of books do you read? And they said, we don't read fiction because fiction will always remain fiction. We read self-improvement books.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're all successful. But people nowadays don't read.
Yeah, but that's called personal development.
Correct.
And so
Correct.
that program, I do have a program, and it's not for sales per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically success. And it starts with mindset, because that's where it begins. Then I work on your skill set, which happen to be sales, communication, personal branding, marketing, how to leverage AI, and relationships, networking. If you master those, dude, you can do anything. And then habits, because you got the wrong habits, brother, you're in trouble. No matter how talented you are, no matter how, charming you are, if you have the wrong habits, you're in trouble. So mindset, skill set, habits, I teach that. And then once they learn it, all they need is an opportunity, right? Well, I have multiple companies. So I'm like, you go through that, I'll give you an opportunity. And so now they get a job, boom, start making money. Next thing you know, I'm changing lives.
Would you, there you go. Would you consider doing a seminar in Dubai? Would you consider that?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I could fill a room, I wouldn't go there for 9 people.
Because I'll tell you what.
Why don't you get 1,000 people in a room, and I'll come?
We'll get a lot more than
I'll come
1,000 people, Brad.
How?
We'll make it happen.
Yeah,
but
you make it happen.
I just wanted
I'll
to
fly
know.
over there. My wife wants a reason to come back.
Okay, because I really think that you've got a lot to offer, and I'm a big fan of yours. You know that. That's why I came, and I think there's so much value you can add to the people who want to learn from somebody like you. You are very successful, and you're just honest, and that's what people love about you. So when I go back, I'm gonna organize it. I'm gonna try and get this thing going in the next few months. We'll get you down there.
Do it before it gets hotter than hell.
See, from November now till almost April, the weather is going to be really nice.
In
So,
any of those months,
Yeah.
let's go.
okay, done deal.
And I will fly over there. We'll stay 10
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple of days of training. I can bring people if they have other people they want.
Yeah. You know that young gentleman who was with you filming?
Yeah.
So he was saying that he was with you when you went to Dubai, right?
I bring them.
Yeah. And he was telling me that his mother was like really afraid that he's going to Dubai and stuff like that. And so was Chris's mom. She was calling him all the time. And this is the fear of people not knowing what UAE is. And they think, people are going to get kidnapped or they're going to be put in jail. And it's like,
That's the last place.
I swear to you, you've been there anyways now, but I'll tell you, people, they need to have Dubai on and UAE on their bucket list.
Well, let's make that, let's sell some tickets in the U.S.
Done.
to go over
I
there.
promise you I'm going to work with you on this one.
Leave successful. All right. Well, listen, you guys heard it. You guys know where to follow this dude. And if you ever end up in Dubai, he knows everybody. Until next time, thanks for coming in.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Brad.
And if you're
Appreciate it.
listening from Dubai, thanks for listening. We'll see you soon. Keep it real.